Hello and welcome to the strangest gig I've ever played, True Tales. From the studio and the stage, I'm your host, Chris J. Norwood. Welcome. Our guest with us this episode is one Warden Richmond, also known as the Warden, also known as Weird Ward, as he dubs himself in this episode. Ward has been a member of Dallas staple bands Slick 57 and The Boys Named Sue. He's put out a few solo records. He's got a new one coming out soon. We had a great conversation. Let's dive in. And we are back. I know it's been a little while. We've been on a bit of a hiatus over the summer, and I thank you for being patient. I'm glad to be back. My family moved and my studio is down for a little bit, and then, life gets in the way, but here we are, and excited to be here. Before we get to Ward, I just want to say a few things. My band, Chris J. Norwood and the Knockdown Dragout, has a new single out. It's a cover of the great Spoon classic, I Turn My Camera On. It is really good. I think you'll really dig it. I don't know you, but I think you'll really enjoy it. It is streaming now everywhere. It's got a really great trumpet solo played by Kazu Tanaka. It is absolute fire. So go hit up Spotify or Apple Music or Deezer or wherever and check that out. We also have a special trio show of the Knockdown Dragout coming up Friday, November 7th at the Kessler, opening for the great Ruthie Foster. It'll be just me and the Knockouts, my background singers, Carrie Norwood and Liz Holmes. It's going to be a lot of fun. Get your tickets now. They are going fast. And now Warden Richmond, as I said, has been a part of Dallas staples, Slick 57 and The Boys Named Sue. He's put out a couple albums as the Warden. He's put out now 3 solo albums. His most recent one comes out this November. It is entitled Big Addict Energy, which is a great title. We get into that album. We get into his sobriety and his recovery from addiction, and really great conversations around that. We also hear some really fun stories from his band, The Party Police. It's a really good one. Ward is a really great guy, and I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation, and I hope you will as well. So let's get to it. Here he is, Warden Richmond. Ward, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I went on a bit of a break, a hiatus, so you're my first guest back from the break, so I'm very excited you're here.
I'm honored to be here. Thank
you. So let's jump in. Tell me about your current gig, what you're working on currently.
Okay. I just finished recording an album with John Pedigo, producing it, and at his new studio, and we recorded 11 songs. I feel like we started it like last summer, so It took about a year or so, and that's coming out on November 21st.
On Idol?
On Idol Records, and I'm excited about it. I'm trying to figure out how to play it live because I don't have a band.
Okay.
And I had an amazing band playing on the record that we brought in. With Trey Pendergrass played drums, and James Driscoll played bass. And
fantastic,
then Joshua Ray Walker played a lot of guitar, lead guitar, and then Charlie Wiles. Do you know Charlie?
I don't know Charlie. I know James real well.
Yeah.
And Josh I know, but I don't know Charlie.
But anyway, killer band. And so I've been working on building backing tracks for it.
Okay, cool.
And so I can just go up on stage with because I'd played some acoustic shows with John actually at the All Good.
Yeah.
And it just I want the feel of the band, but I don't really have the time nor desire to put a real band together.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
And it's like
it's a lot of work.
Bringing in players to play too. I've done that before, and that's just not the best feel, just because you're not you don't get super comfortable together.
Yeah.
So
it takes a while.
It's almost like I'd rather karaoke it, I think, than do the other. So I'm going to attempt it, but I've never done it before. So I'm doing my first show this way on Saturday night.
Cool. Where at?
At Beyond the Bar.
Where's that at?
It's in Richardson.
Okay.
And it's a non-alcoholic bottle shop.
Oh, very cool.
That is out there. So my buddy owns it, and I'm looking forward to it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What was it like recording at John Pedigo's new place?
It was awesome.
Was that like the first stuff he'd done at the new place?
I think I'm the first record that finished there.
Okay, cool.
Josh was always there.
Yeah.
I mean, he and John like constantly
Pretty prolific.
write
Yeah.
songs and record
Yeah.
like all the time. And so he was always up there, but I think I was the first one that got finished. So
That's cool.
yeah, I'm excited about it. It's nice. I don't know if you feel this way, but like getting it done and getting all the songs tracked, like my songwriting is just taking a pause right now.
Yeah,
like the
for
creativity is just like, okay, now I guess I'm using that energy to figure out how to present this in a live environment.
Yeah, just that space of time between when you finish the record to where it comes out is like, it's a full-time job getting it out.
Yeah, it really is. And I have Idol, and Irv over at Idol is helping me with a lot of stuff, but gosh, there's so many things like dealing with the backing tracks, and then it just seems like a lot. And Maureen is helping me with publicity, but it's answering a lot of questions and doing all that, but it's exciting.
Do you have any, I mean, you talked about the band and kind of doing the backing tracks. Do you have any like any plans to tour the album at all, or?
Not really.
Yeah.
I think, if the opportunity were to present itself, I would do it. I did hire a radio promoter.
Okay.
And I've never done that before, but I just like really believe in these songs, and have this guy that does like Americana radio promotion.
Cool,
so we'll see if he has any success, and there are some good shows, but I'm not I mean, I work full-time job, have 2 young kids, and I'm divorced, so I'm single dadding half the time, you know, and so life's pretty full.
It's hectic, yeah, for sure. So the album title is Big Addict Energy, which is an awesome title. I love that title.
Thank you.
How did you come up with the title, and then kind of what does that mean to you?
So I have a podcast, and I interview people most of the time, and then sometimes I'll just kind of do like a little rant about something that I'm feeling, and a lot of what I discuss is addiction because I am sober and used to be.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Almost, actually, the album will come out on my 2-year sobriety date.
Oh, wow, that's great.
And my journey with that really began like 10 years ago. So I quit. I like went to rehab and quit drinking, and then fell off the wagon for a year and then got back on. So it's just, when you get in that world, my identity was like very connected with alcohol, I would say, since the time I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
And our bands that I played in back in the day, Slick 57 and Boys Named Sue, we were like known for drinking and playing honky tonks, and we toured a lot. And I mean, it was just my identity. And I got into real estate, and then it's easy to carry that into any world. Like music's like obvious. You're in a bar every night.
Yeah.
But really.
And alcohol is kind of currency. You know what I mean? Like in the music world, it's traded as currency almost. Yeah.
And I actually quit touring thinking I might die because we were partying so hard. I was. And it's like, I'm going to get into commercial real estate. And I was like, this will be healthy for me.
Yeah.
But then you get into that, and you can go to a happy hour and drink for free almost every night. And like you have client dinners, and you go to conferences, and if you're an alcoholic, you find the alcoholic things to do, right? No matter what your profession is. And that's something I've learned. So I've just become really passionate about it, addiction in general, because I had no clue I had a problem until I was like 37 years old. I mean, I knew I drank too much, but I would quit and then get back into it. Yeah. And it was just this vicious cycle that while it's happening, it's just kind of like, this is just life. And I overdo it, and then I pull it back. And I was pretty high functioning with it all, and woke up and went to work and maintained all like lifelong friendships and got a lot accomplished. And so it wasn't like I'm homeless and in jail kind of a thing. Yeah. And that's something I see with a lot of my friends, because I fell into a class of addicts that functioned, and you find one another. Yeah. Because when you go to the conferences or you go do whatever, you find the people that keep up with you.
That's great.
So anyway, this album is a reflection, I would say, on the some of the time spent on the other side, and then the kind of the path to recovery. And
did you start writing after you after you became sober, or like during that process of becoming sober?
It was some songs were written when I was sober. I think a few during that year I fell off the wagon were probably I dabbled with, and then most of them fully sober during these last 2 years. And I had 3 friends die last summer, like back to back to back, 3 months in a row, all from drugs or alcohol, and young, sub 50 years old. Like I think maybe one was 50 and then 45 and 40, and just sudden. And it was just really contributed to a lot of that songwriting. And I just like kicked it into high gear. And that's when kind of I think the album became like, this is going to be a theme around this. And I'm going to really talk about it and kind of laugh about it in a way, because that's really all you can do when you look back at that, you spending your life that way in addiction. I mean, there were times where it's like, God, what an idiot I was. And I guess you could still say that, but it's also like, I was just really navigating life the best that I could. Yeah. And for a long period of time, I actually had so much like arrogance around my drinking that I thought that if you did not live like that, you were like missing out on life. Yeah. Like I thought it was a superpower, and it was this is the way to live. And if you're not doing this, you are living a boring existence and not taking advantage of life. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. That's what happens, in those addictive cycles.
How did the process of becoming sober change your songwriting? Did it change the process of your songwriting, or were you afraid that maybe if I get sober, I'll be less interesting? You kind of hear that a lot of guys that get sober, there's that fear that, well, if I stop drinking, I'm less you talked about it being a superpower.
Yeah. I mean, like when my early years, when I first started writing songs in high school, it's about girls. Yeah. Then I started drinking, and I started writing songs just about drinking. Yeah. Like I had a song called Drunk Life and a song called The Bird about wild turkey whiskey. I mean, and then it became about girls and drinking, and that's what I wrote about. Yeah. And I've always written pretty nonfiction first person songs. That's just my style, storytelling of actual events that are happening or based on actual events. And that was my life. And so that's what I wrote about. And I definitely had this, it's an identity that was consecrated, and like this was me, and this is who I'm going to be. And I may die younger than, like your average healthy person, but I'm going to live this legendary life. And I was singing about that legendary life. So then like quitting seemed to me like I didn't even want to quit for the longest period of time. And then when I did, I recognized like things are going to change. Yeah. And I tried really hard, I think, to hang on to just still going out. I would go hang out at the Lakewood Landing and drink non-alcoholic beer and smoke cigarettes. And like, I'm still here. I'm still me. And I went through a long period of time where I just still tried to be like fitting in with my old world. Right. And eventually that you just kind of get bored with it. And then you're like, well, I don't like to go there.
Yeah. It doesn't seem quite so legendary when...
Yeah, and this is fucked up. These people are still here 10 years later, like at the bar. This is crazy. Yeah. And like what happens is that old version of yourself truly dies, and then a new version is born. And I've written I've released now. When this album comes out, it'll be 31 songs I've released since COVID.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's when I think it took 2015 is when I went to rehab. So it was
Yeah.
took some time to kind of wrap my arms around this. And I took a long break from songwriting. And then I think in 2018, I started writing again.
Yeah.
And it was like this new me was here, and I'm going to write about, and the first two albums were a lot about like the joys of sobriety and just like, and some of the same themes. I mean, but it has become a theme probably through all those albums, like either sobriety or just appreciation of life. Right. And, because when you think you're living life in the best way possible, and then you shift your perspective and move into another dimension, then it's like, whoa, like this is actually, the grass is greener, the sky is bluer. I am like the love for my children, and that you get when you're able to be present with them and not worrying like, I wonder if my daughter, because my daughter was 1.5 when I went to rehab. And I remember coming home like, I hope she doesn't smell smoke on me or alcohol on me, and just have that, all that anxiety I was carrying. I tell people, if I had that level of anxiety that I carried 10 years ago, today, I think the energy of it would kill me.
Yeah.
Because it was this gradual build that I got used to, and I was just carrying it around. And then it doesn't just leave when you quit drinking.
Yeah.
You chip it away slowly but surely.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's an ongoing process like anything. It's like you're going to keep evolving in a certain direction. Mm-hmm. And then there were times in the last 10 years where I veered off of that. And it was totally sober. And then, I'll smoke weed. I'll do mushrooms. I'll do ecstasy. I'll do ayahuasca. I'll do like ketamine and do the psychedelic stuff. And then I think I'm healed. I can drink now. And then you're drinking. And then, but I'm still doing all this healing stuff and like yoga and meditation. And, but then it's like you're going down two separate roads at the same time, and then you're going to get torn apart. And that dawned on me, basically 2 years ago. And like, I need to just pick a lane. And, that's been really helpful, but I don't think I could have gotten there with everything else. So it's just like this crazy journey, and it's not linear, and it never ends. And it is, I mean, I can go decide I want to be a drinker again anytime I want. I've got no one telling me not to, you know? I can convince everyone it's okay that I'm drinking very easily, because I'm good at like convincing myself, and I will truly believe like this is fine until
it's not.
Like it's not. And I mean, the exhaustion of trying to explain to people why I drank again that year I fell off the wagon. I don't want to do that again. Like, it's just like, I mean, and I'm so vocal about it. I kind of help myself out staying sober, because I'm a great accountability partner, because I talk about it all the time. I write an album about it. Like, and I have a lot of friends that are either struggling with addiction or on the other side and in recovery. And I know that my friends in recovery were really helpful for me to get there. And I want to be that for the people who are struggling, even if I can convince myself, I'm wise and old enough to drink again responsibly. It's just like, in Buddhism, they say, or some Buddhist monk where I read his book, he's just like, even if you can drink 1 glass of wine with dinner once a week and be fine with it, you should not do that to honor those people who can't do that, who are struggling. And so I kind of like to tell myself that, at least today.
Well, let me ask you a question, because this is something I think about with regards to addiction. I come from a long line of alcoholics, my father, my uncles. It's in my family. And I don't consider myself an alcoholic, I've had a healthy fear of alcohol because I've witnessed that in my family. But I see signs of addiction or the possibility for addiction in my life all the time. I see it in my daughter. She's a thumb sucker, right? So I see that, like, her struggling with wanting to give that up and not being able to. My addiction is Dr. Pepper, and I don't mean to like trivialize alcoholism by saying I'm addicted to Dr. Pepper, but those same tendencies that I hear in alcoholics when they say, oh, I just woke up and I was at the liquor store. I've had that with Dr. Pepper. So do you think that there are certain people or certain families that are just predisposed to becoming addicts? Like there's an addict gene, so to speak, or it's hereditary, or it's something I think about a lot, especially as I have kids and I see them grow up and me not wanting to continue that cycle and pass down to them.
Yeah. I mean, my mom's an alcoholic, so I'm kind of the same way. And I see my son with his iPad and both of my kids have some of these tendencies where I just see myself in them. And, I think that there is like a genetic predisposition for this. And it's because we're raised in a way where we're seeing that type of behavior. And I think it just kind of like subconsciously gets ingrained into you. And then, I mean, I think with alcohol, it can be, hereditary alcohol specific, where like I drink alcohol and it might make me feel better than like a normal person who's not an alcoholic. Like I'm going to like it better. It's not like I'm making a conscious decision over here, but it's like really does the right thing for me. Yeah. And initially that was relieve me of social anxiety, which I didn't know that I had. Yeah. But I just knew this thing makes me feel awesome. And but I mean, I have a theory that I have a spiritual teacher named Carissa Schumacher, and I heard this from her, but she calls it the Addict Energy field. Uh-huh. And it's like this energy field that's all around planet Earth. Yeah. And so I think everybody's in it. Dr. Pepper, like sugar, is the most addictive thing there is. And I struggle with that. I'm right now, I did this 75 hard thing and did not eat sweets for 75 days. Wow. Because when I stopped drinking, I mean, boom, alcohol has a lot of sugar. You can just, I was craving it. I mean, if you're a heavy drinker and you stop, you will crave sugar. Like, what is the matter with me? I would eat like a box of Susie cakes. That was my thing. And whenever I go by Susie cakes now, in Lakewood, I see it and I just say, fuck Susie cakes. I'm not going back. But sugar is more difficult for me to quit than alcohol. But some people are addicted to sex. Yeah. I know people that have experienced like their wife cheating on them, right? And over and over and over and getting caught and him taking her back. And like, she's addicted to, I don't know if it's the sex or if it's this feeling or if it's him taking her back, but it's this cycle. And what it is not like balance, and it's these dopamine hits. So it's whatever it might be money. I know a lot of people that are workaholics that don't, like Donald Trump does not drink alcohol, but he has addict energy big time, right? Like to go do all the things that he's done in his life. Like, I think he's just so driven by something, and his brother died of alcoholism, and like he doesn't drink because of that. But you see, I mean, I think he's like the epitome of like addict energy, right? Yeah. And you can, and now I pay attention to it and I can just see it. Like most people I know have something. It might be shopping, Facebook garage sale, Facebook, watching TV, and just like these dopamine hits. But the answer, I think, is like to find balance between doing whatever and just like being. Like, can you just like and having the discipline to turn the valve off. And I mean, I have to just pick thing. Like I've got a seriously addictive personality, hence the album title. and my fascination with this topic. But like I do these nicotine pouches and I've quit those this year for like a month and a half, but I can't quit everything. So I just kind of pick my battles. They don't seem to bother my health that much.
Sure.
I drink coffee, not like all day, but in the morning I tried to quit coffee. I'm like, life's too short for me not to have coffee. I love it. It doesn't like have that negative of an impact on me. So, but I'm aware that when I wake up in the morning, I want a cup of coffee bad. Like, and it's almost like my favorite thing about, I mean, I love to wake up early.
Yeah.
And if I wake up accidentally too early, like at 3:30 or something, I'll be like, this means I get to have coffee. So I'm going to get out of bed and go have coffee. Yeah. So, but I think just being aware, like, what is it that you're doing that creates dopamine hits, and then how unhealthy is it for you?
Yeah.
And then try to just like, stop for a while or see if you can moderate it. And then, but just, I think becoming mindful of it for me with the alcohol, when I realized, a marriage counselor told me you're a high functioning alcoholic.
Yeah.
No one had ever called me that before. And I was a new father and like, I need to look into this.
Yeah.
And that like awareness, just the consciousness around it, then you almost can't unsee it once the consciousness gets there. Like, oh gosh. And I mean, I saw another therapist and then I saw a psychiatrist and they're all like, alcoholic. I'm like, oh God. I think I am. And then one of my friends went to rehab and I talked to him and he told me like how he was living before he went. And was like, gosh,
kind
that
of
sounds
familiar,
very familiar. And God, I had fooled myself, but once I became conscious of it, that never changed. And when I took the year off the wagon, it's like, I couldn't ever enjoy it like I did before I was exposed to the reality of it all. And then I'm not going to slur at business functions, like box checked. I did like that happens. I'm aware of it. Like, gosh, I would beat myself up so hard. 10 years ago, I was like, business function, I'm getting fucked up. I'm going, like, we are going to party so hard because I'm going to be in a different city and I don't have any responsibilities tomorrow morning. Yeah. And that, I mean, that dynamic just changes. So even if I were to start drinking again, which could easily happen, I would never be able to drink away the consciousness around that this behavior is not cool. Yeah. And it's unhealthy. And it's especially not cool when you're a 47-year-old father of 2 children running a business and like trying to like make an impact on the world. Like it's just going in reverse. Yeah. So that's another helpful reason not to start again, because I know it's just not going to be as fun as it once was. It never will be.
This is now your third full-length album as Ward Richmond, but you've also put out 2 albums as the Warden, right?
2 albums as the Warden.
And so then what was that process or decision like to go to releasing albums under your own name? Was that part of your sober journey, or you think, or? We did 4 Slick 57 albums in my first band with John. Yeah. We did 3 Boys Named Sue albums, really 2 originals and then 1 live album. And then I wanted to go do my own. I was writing my own songs. Yeah. And I was just too like ingrained in being in a band where I did not want to use my own name. Yeah. So I just created the Warden as this like identity thing. I also did Party Police, which is going to be the strangest gig. Okay. If we can't wait about that. Yeah. And so I did Party Police with Madison King and John, and then I did the Warden. And I did 2 albums, one right before rehab, one right when I got out of rehab, kind of like recapping my story of that 20 years old to that point in time. Yeah. Like almost like a book. And then I took that like 5-year hiatus
of songwriting,
Yeah.
and then reemerged and just decided to just use my name.
That's great.
So there you go.
That's fun. Tell me about Slick 57 and kind of, and then also Boys Named Sue. Like, what were those times like? What was the scene like, you know, here in Deep Ellum specifically?
Yeah, it was amazing. And John and I went to high school together at
Yeah.
Woodrow, and we would go down to Deep Ellum on the weekends and go to Trees because it was 17 up. And
Okay, yeah.
I mean, Deep Ellum was just amazing in
Yeah.
the late 90s. And in 98, we formed Slick 57. So I was a sophomore in college and he was a freshman. And we started playing whenever he was in Boston, I was in Providence, Rhode Island, but we'd come home for summer and winter. And we would perform almost every night of the week in Deep Ellum. We've had a residency at Eight Airs and other places, and play Sons of Herman Hall, and just play Gypsy Tea Room. There were all these cool venues. Deep Ellum was awesome. You could play any night of the week and have a good crowd, make a few $100, and in college, I mean, we were making a lot of money.
Good money for college students, yeah.
And I was interning at like real estate companies all through college too. So I would have we would play till 2 a.m. and then wake up, go to work in the morning. But I was making, we had so much money. It was so fun. And I mean, we were drinking in bars in Deep Ellum when we were 18, 19 years old and playing all the time. But yeah, that was amazing. And then we got out of college and really started hammering down and got a deal with an Australian record label and got to go on tour and did that for 4 years.
Who else was in the band with y'all?
Trey
Pendergrass.
One of our English teacher from Woodrow, Dave Mitchell, was our first drummer. Mm-hmm. So when John graduated, like he was rehearsing at John's house the next like months later. It was pretty cool.
That is cool.
And then he started Speed Trucker, this other country band that we used to always play with. And then Trey Pendergrass went on the first tour. And then we had like 5 drummers. And then Rob Schumacher was our last drummer for Slick 57. And the whole time, the Boys Named Sue were going. And so when Slick 57 would come home from tour, Boys Named Sue would play all the time because we were a cover band mainly. And so doing that and in tandem. And I mean, we were playing 200 shows a year.
That's crazy.
During that time.
Yeah.
But we lived in Deep Ellum at, I think it was called Gaston Yards. I think it's the Marquee on Gaston now.
Yeah.
I worked at the All Good Cafe. I skateboarded to work. We played there all the time. It was really cool.
What is your sense of the Deep Ellum scene now? And I mean, how do you feel about it now?
I've played at the All Good a few times, like 7 to 9 on a Saturday. So, but I don't go down there much. I've gotten tattoos down there from Oliver Peck in the daytime. And I went to Pleasant Grove. Mm-hmm. They're a band from back in our Slick 57 days that we used to always watch. Amazing. Where did they play? I forgot the name of the place. But anyway, I went down there and that was the first time in so long. Like I went to Pepe Mitos and went to a show in Deep Ellum and just like walking around. But man, I'm so out of the scene down there and I am a early bird. I like to go to bed at 9 o'clock at night. Yeah. And so it seems like Dallas has like a super vibrant music scene now, and there's tons of talented people out there. Yeah. I like to go to the Kessler to watch shows or the Granada. Those are my places that I like now. Deep Ellum was too overwhelming for me when I went down there. Like, I'm out of here. Yeah, I left before the show was done. I hustled back to my car. I was just like not feeling like I did when I was living down there 20 years ago. But I mean, there were a lot of people down there. Yeah. But that's just, I don't like a lot of people. Yeah. To be, like, I don't like to be in crowded places at this stage of my life. Sure. And it's funny because I used to just like thrive. Yeah. And, with those packed sidewalks and walking down the street. Yeah, and I write a lot, and I wrote about like my perspective on Deep Ellum when I was in high school. But I mean, back then, I did not get this feel a couple weeks ago when I went down there. But it was just so many like diverse creatives like lining the streets.
Yeah.
And like you might see people rapping or breakdancing or hippies playing bongo drums.
Yeah.
And then like the like urban cowboy set walking around. And but I felt like it was more about live music back then.
Yeah.
And now it felt more clubby.
Yeah.
You know? And I went to the Bomb Factory for a show to see Sierra Farrell last year, and that was cool. But we just kind of went over to Canton Street, went to the Bomb Factory, and then got out of there.
Yeah.
I dropped them off at the landing. So, I mean, but there's so much good music coming out of Dallas. I try to pay attention to that.
Who's your favorite band coming out of Dallas now? I
have to say Joshua Ray Walker because he just name dropped Slick 57 and Rolling Stone this week. So
that's pretty badass.
I mean, a literal tear came to my eye. John sent
awesome.
it to me. He's like, we finally are in Rolling Stone. It's like, oh my God, 20 years after we broke up.
That's awesome.
But I love Josh, and like also just because we're both best friends with John Pedigo, we spend a lot of time together, and we cross over in the studio for the last year and a half of him walking in when I'm walking out, or vice versa. And I've like been right there through his whole cancer thing, and seeing him come through that, and really just the whole thing, getting to watch his work ethic and his creativity and all of that has been awesome to have the front row seats.
Absolutely.
I love the Texas Gentlemen crew. I've recorded my first 2 albums at Modern Electric.
Okay.
One with Bo Bedford, one with Jason Burt.
Yeah.
And being up in that energy of that place is really cool, and they're all doing super cool creative things.
Where'd you record the Warden albums at?
I did one at the Echo Lab, and then I did one with John at Audio Dallas.
Okay, great. Yeah. Love Audio Dallas. Well, let's get into some of the fun stuff. Tell me now about the strangest gig you've ever played.
Oh yeah.
And you can tell multiple stories.
Okay, cool. The first one that came to mind for sure was the Party Police. Have you heard of the Party Police?
Yeah, I'm familiar a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, I did quit drinking the first time. Not ever admitting I had a drinking problem really, but just like, I'm going to quit drinking.
Yeah.
I was into doing Ironman triathlons. So I did 3 of those. So I did one and I did not do great at it. And I decided, I woke up really hungover one morning and like, I'm going to just quit drinking and train for the next one sober.
Yeah.
And try that. I did not go to any meetings or seek any help. I just quit cold turkey. When that happened, it was, you talk like the Addict Energy field, right? Like you get that Addict Energy, it's going like party, 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 and then you cut it off.
Yeah.
It like went into the training, but it also like unleashed this like creative idea. And I started writing like NC-17 rap songs on my acoustic guitar. And came up with this crazy idea, like we're gonna start a rap band, and and I got John to learn how to DJ and build beats and do all that, and then I wrote all the songs. I got Madison King to sing the hooks, and it was really silly, and I mean the songs were so over the top, and we made videos, so we made all these great videos, and then we played 3 shows, and the first 2 were awesome. 3 Links was the first one. Yeah. Second one at Southside. And then the third one, we kind of thought we had retired after Southside. And then the Dallas Observer called us to play St. Patty's Day Parade.
Okay.
And open up for Ludacris.
Oh, wow.
when I was sober, that energy like went into this crazed like maniac that created the party police. And I mean, I was at John's all the time recording and figuring this out, making the videos. Then by the second show, I had started drinking again. Third show, I was totally off the rails. And we hadn't rehearsed, we hadn't practiced since New Year's Eve, and it was like St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
And we might have rehearsed one time, but anyway, I started drinking like early that morning, and doing drugs, and showed up to, I mean, it was St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
The Sioux were playing at the poorhouse. We did that every St. Patty's Day. That's my move. I get up, I start drinking and partying, like drinking Bloody Marys right when I wake up, and then like just be totally in the zone. I could play Blacked Out with Boys Named Sue and be fine.
Yeah.
Like we played 1,000 shows together. But not true with the party police. And we happen to be on stage in front of like thousands of people opening up for Ludacris. And it was not good.
Oh, wow.
And so we got on stage, and I was so excited about it. Like, and I was in my like rapper mode. Like I would just like take on this persona, and my rapper name was the Warden. So that's kind of how that came about. And I was like, I'm the Warden. I put on like an Adidas tracksuit and like crazy sunglasses. And I was so fucked up. And got on stage. We did not get to sound check because there's just all these bands going, and we're playing. Like, so I couldn't hear the beats, and I was hammered. So like this combination, and then I'm rapping, which like playing country music, playing bass and singing.
You can kind of slur your words and get by singing a country song.
Rapping, you cannot do that, and it's like it's hard to rap, and then. It's hard to rap live, and then it's hard to rap in front of 3,000 people or whatever when you've never done that before. And then when you're hammered and can't hear, like I got off the beat and multiple times on multiple songs, and then the audience started chanting Luda, Luda, Luda. And I mean, a beer bottle got thrown at my head, and I just like dodged it.
Whoa.
It went right by my head, but we were like getting booed off the stage. Whoa. And it was mortifying.
I bet that was scary too.
It was, I was too embarrassed to care about fear.
Yeah.
I was just like, I couldn't believe it, and just like powering through, you know, and anyway, I mean, the rest of the day, I remember getting to the poorhouse for a Boys Named Sue show, and I was just like a ball of anxiety. So, like, oh my, please. This was 2014?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2014.
Wow.
So I was sure like this was going to be on the internet. Now I've had friends that were there, and they're like, it wasn't that bad. Yeah. And you just get in your head.
Sure.
But it was bad. I know like I did a horrible job. Just because I was slurring and trying to rap, and I couldn't hear the beats. So, perfect storm and dodging beer bottles.
Absolutely.
So,
have you seen any video? Is there any video out there?
It was like, it never happened. Thank God. Madison and I were like, when's it coming out? When's this video coming out?
You're hitting
of
refresh.
us getting booed off the stage, and it never did, thankfully. I can't believe that it didn't. So that's the weirdest gig I've ever played, or maybe the worst. And I've had so many gigs. Boys Named Sue played so many strange shows, like in country places or in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, y'all did a lot of like kind of rural shows, right?
Yeah, but we were not like a traditional country band. We would. Have you seen us play? I don't know.
I've never seen y'all play.
Saw the Sioux play, but we will like bust into an Eminem song, in a White Stripes song, into a Franz Ferdinand song, into like the 69 Boys, and then into Bob Wills. And just this, it's crazy. And we would wear Adidas tracksuits. That was like our thing a lot of the times. And Yeah, we just played so many weird shows, and we were so weird. And we would have theme nights and dress like 80s movie night, because we played at Muddy Waters every week for years. And so each week we had gangster night. And I mean, the Sue's was just the weirdest gig, as in the band, the Boys Named Sue. I don't know. Party Police is equal or weirder. So I'm into, I guess, weird bands.
Yeah,
and
I love it.
that is it. And yeah, someone told me the other day that my new album's weird. And I'm Weird Ward.
Yeah, Weird Ward.
That might be my new persona.
I love it. Well, what were some of those Slick 57 overseas tours like?
They were awesome. The first, we got signed to this Australian record label.
And how did that come about? How did they find y'all?
I made a list of every record label that put out roots music in the world. And this was 2002. And mailed demos to them all. Wow. And emailed them and called them all.
Yeah.
And we played at South by Southwest in, I guess, March of 2002. And I was contacting all the labels because I knew that a lot of them would be there. Yeah. And this was also like prime time South by Southwest back in 2002. It was so fun. And I mean, I don't go anymore, so I don't know, but I'm just have that. Austin's just not the same as it was back then. But day parties at people's houses, and you just go around and just see killer bands playing in the front yard at somebody's house. It was so much fun. So yeah, Bloodshot Records came to our gig, and Laughing Outlaw Records from Sydney, Australia came to our gig. And then they signed us. So they put out the album. They bought us plane tickets to go to Australia and booked us a 1-month tour there.
Wow.
So then John and I figured out that we could book a 1-month layover in Europe.
Yeah.
On the way to Australia. So we did that, and then we just made a list of like where Slobberbone was playing.
Yeah.
They were touring Europe a lot.
Okay, yeah.
All the venues that Slobberbone played at. And then we just called all those venues and booked it just like we were booking tours here. Yeah, right. You just figure it out. They're all having booking email on their website and hours to call or whatever. And we were waking up early in the morning to call Europe in the early afternoon.
Yeah.
To talk to the booking agent. So John and I would be up at the apartment at 6 o'clock in the morning or something, calling these clubs. And we booked a makeshift tour for a month in Europe. It was all over the place. Like London, Paris, Amsterdam, Dresden, Berlin, back to Amsterdam. And then we got, so that was just so fun. I mean, we landed in London. Our first show, we opened for Slobberbone.
Wow, yeah.
They didn't even like have anything to do with that either.
Yeah.
We weren't like super close with them.
Yeah.
But we were just, I mean, they were just like this target that we were following.
Yeah.
Like, we want to be like them. They're big in Europe to like play their clubs. So we contact this club that they're playing at and just say, hey, we're from Texas. Can we be on the bill with Slobberbone? And
that's cool.
Got on there. So sold out show at the Borderline in London was how that whole tour kicked off. And then I contacted all the booking agents of all the roots music bands that toured Europe. And so we got signed to a booking agency in Amsterdam because of that tour, just kind of like the South by Southwest move.
Yeah.
Just said, hey, we're playing at this club in Amsterdam. You're based there. Can you come watch us play? We want to work with you.
Yeah.
So we got to go back to Europe multiple times.
That's great.
And then we went to Australia. That was super well organized tour that the label was real legit over there.
Logistically, what's it like touring Australia? Because I mean, you're at all these cities that are kind of on the coast.
Yeah.
Does that cause logistical nightmares?
I mean, we were so used to logistical nightmares and I played the upright bass, by the way.
Yeah.
So traveling Europe an upright bass in a flight case, that was my life. And I mean, we took the train from London to Paris.
Oh, wow,
I mean, we were just in taxi cabs, like sticking that bass in there somehow. It was crazy. So Australia, we were headquartered in Sydney. That's where the label was. So we flew there, and then we went up the East Coast to Brisbane, I think. That's probably about as far north as we went. And we stopped at towns the whole way up.
Yeah.
And then kind of like hopped over towns on the way back to Sydney, hung out there, played some more shows. And then we went down to Melbourne. Yeah. And I mean, Melbourne, there were some long drives.
I bet,
We would just get down, and then we're in Melbourne, and then there's lots of shows to play, and then a really long van drive back up to Sydney.
Yeah.
And, but it was amazing just because we had like label support and per diems and a tour manager and every hotel rooms every night. Yeah. It was fantastic.
That's awesome. Tell me now, as we kind of start to wrap it up, tell me about your dream gig. And that can mean whatever it is to you. Dream venue, dream bill, whatever that means to you.
Yeah. I think, you know, I don't want to sell myself like short hair and, you know, and say like Dos Equis with, you know, sold out crowd. That would be wild. But I would love... I mean, my favorite show, and we've played huge shows before with my bands, and my favorite show is like a packed double-wide show. Yeah. Or I've never played the Kessler. Yeah. So that was the first thing that came to mind, is just like a packed show at the Kessler would be really cool. Yeah. Something like that is what I think of, or like a version of that in Los Angeles or New York City or something. Yeah. Like I love playing in places like that are just, or Nashville, like these entertainment meccas, like to go like pack a house in one of those types of places. There's something kind of special about that. And then there's something really special about your hometown. So, but those kind of size venues, I like that intimacy that you can feel, but it's still like the energy is just so good in places like that versus like a giant stage in some giant place like that. Those always felt weird to me. Yeah. And it's probably because I played 99% of my shows in those type, like smaller type venues. Right. But that's great. Yeah, man, those my dream gigs, just like being able to go like sell out the double wide again like we used to. Yeah. That's cool. So tell me when the new album comes out. November 21st.
November 21st.
I did release a new single off of it on August 8th, and that is called the Non-alcoholic Beer Drinkin Man. So that's available now.
That's great.
It's the first song off the record.
Any new singles coming out?
I don't think I'm going to.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I'm just going to wait till the record comes out.
Yeah. And you've got the podcast Truckin On still going, new episodes coming out.
Truckin On podcast. I try to put one out every week.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Ward, thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun getting to talk to you.
Thanks, Chris. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you bet. All right, there he goes. Big thanks to Ward Richmond. Y'all please be sure to check out his new album, Big Addict Energy, when it comes out. Be sure to check out his podcast, Truckin On. It's fantastic. I really appreciate y'all listening. Again, thank you for your patience as we were on hiatus. I know these are a bit sporadic these days. This is a one-man show. So any support you can give, you can help spread the word. You know, if you're really into editing podcasts, if you're really into marketing podcasts, reach out and let me know. If you yourself are a musician with a strange gig story, reach out. Let's get you on. And then once again, Chris J. Norden, The Knockdown Dragout, our new single, I Turn My Camera On, is available everywhere. And our show, Friday, November 7th at the Kessler Theater. Get your tickets now. And until next time, if you find yourself at a gig opening for Ludacris in front of a few thousand people, getting booed off the stage and beer bottles thrown at you, just remember, a gig's a gig, right?